Again. I'm excited to see you yet again today. It's a big day of Amy and Kevin.
And for those of you that didn't join us for the first group, the recordings will be available on our YouTube stream as well as on our Facebook video section on the Sysco Canada Facebook page.
Yeah, a lot of great insights this morning. Looking forward to today. I think that one of the things that what came up on the screen earlier is about the fact that inflation is the highest it's been in about 20 years. So it is something that's very concerning for a lot of people and how to manage. And I'm excited to kind of share a lot of these tips throughout the day today. In today's show right now, the one earlier, and then again the other one that's coming up later on today at 1:00. So let's roll the intro and we'll get started.
Well, again, epic intro. Great job to the behind the scenes team on that one. It's really exciting to be back for this second grouping for our series, this ingredients virtual food show to help with fighting food inflation. And folks, if you weren't part of the earlier group, again, the recordings will be available. But the message is there are solutions. Yes, we're hearing high numbers. Yes, we're hearing about all kinds of stuff going on. There are solutions, and many of them are not as difficult as they may seem.
Great point. So let's introduce all of our vendors for this round, and then we'll get started. So let's jump, and we'll start with intros with Richard.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be a part of this show. And you're right, food cost inflation is having an impact on the restaurants for sure. So I'm going to do 2 recipes today that are going to address swapping out proteins for something a little bit different and a little less expensive. And then we're going to talk another food cost tip on portion control. So that's about me at Lester's today. Let's on to the next person.
All right. Over to Chef Mark at Ole Mel.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Or should I say, well, good morning, of course. Yeah. Well, excited to be here. I got some great ideas here how to lower your food costs, by adding ingredients like garnishes and stuff like that in your, and, make your portion look big, but don't, spend all your money on it. So looking forward to, I got 2 recipes, maybe 3, if I can get the 3rd one in. And so I'm looking forward to show you guys, how to save money.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next up is Brenda.
Good morning, Sysco fans. Brenda from Lassonde here. I am your beverage person today. So we're going to be talking about the world premiere of our food service dedicated brand and its new rebranding, Fairly. We're going to be talking about some beverage recipes, Canadian products. So we're going to keep it local and we're going to keep it cost effective. And then I'm going to show you in my second segment how we're going to incorporate some of those juices as ingredients for cost effective menu items. And on
Fantastic.
We go.
Awesome.
Sounds exciting.
I know.
All right. Next is Chef David.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Dave Piper. I'm one of the culinary specialists for Sysco, and today I'm cheating a bit because I'm working with pasta, and we already know pasta is a great way to make money. And I'm going to take it a little bit further, and I'm going to look at how we plate our pastas so we can have a beautiful dish and create a beautiful experience, and that's how we're going to fight food inflation, is by giving a different experience.
Awesome. All right. And then last but certainly not least, Chef Marc-Andre from Floating Leaf.
Hey, everybody. I'm excited to be here today. I'm Marc-Andre. I'm with AGG Excellence. I'm here for Floating Leaf today. So today what we'll be talking to you about is obviously food inflation and a way to combat that. So we've got a couple of great blends of product that can help you lower your food costs while pleasing your customers and be on trend. So a couple of nice recipes. We're going to be going through a mushroom wild and white rice pilaf and 6 grain vegetarian chili. It's excited to talk to you about that.
Awesome. All right, great. Well, thanks for the great introductions, everyone. Let's roll a commercial and we'll be back with our first presentation.
Oh, sorry, that was really good. All right, Richard, we'll take you off of mute. You're up.
Hey, everybody. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to everybody about today is about just taking your daily specials and making them from a category that you typically have on your menu and making it a little less expensive, and then you'd still charge it at the same price. One of the common complaints I have with some of my customers back in the day when I was working for Sysco is that I would go into one of my favorite restaurants and they would have this burger and it'd be topped with like bacon and eggs and all this sort of stuff on it and all these extra proteins and everything. Really cool burger, priced at the same price point as their regular burger as a way to kind of sell more daily specials. That's the wrong way to approach it. You want to really make sure that you're creating a wow factor burger that has a lower food cost and you still charge it at the higher. So you make more contributing margin when you're making these things. So first thing, we are going to talk about a hamburger today, and we're going to talk about the bacon that goes on your hamburger, which is, these days very expensive. The price of bacon's gone up at a very good day, only 20%. So what I did is I went onto our website and I found a recipe there from our culinary innovations team about bacon salami. Really kind of a cool idea. So the premise is this: you take your all beef salami. So this is Lester's all beef salami. It comes fresh, 2x3 kilo, fantastic product, all beef. And although it's a cooked salami, man, I'm telling you, it's very firm and holds up well. So what I did was I just, on the slicer, into a bowl, a little bit of maple syrup, and then I went into my pantry over here and I reached back into 1993 and I grabbed some of that liquid smoke. You all have it. You all have a jar of this. I know you do. And if you have a big jug of it, you're going to get a lot of this stuff to go through. So I did that, a little bit of cayenne, and laid it out on a parchment, baked it in the oven, 375, 15 minutes. That recipe is at lesters.ca. Feel free to check it out. And I got these wonderful little bacon strips. Other things that you can do with this, I diced it up, and this can go on a charcuterie board or a salad or whatever. I'm telling you, it's an alternative protein. It's less expensive than candied pecans in this case, or bacon. So to start your burger off, I got a nice burger. We'll talk about why you do this. particular layout of a burger. On the bottom, I've got my produce, my lettuce, my tomato, my onion on the bottom. And the reason is a nice juicy burger. You don't want the juice to come in contact with the bun and turn it into a bad situation. So build it this way, a little bit of cheese on top. Each one of these little strips of not bacon weighs 5 grams. So I'm telling you, you can lay this out as thick as you like, and you will never in your life come across a food cost of having a couple strips of bacon on there. So here we have it, laid out a few like this, put it on the plate. I'll give it a bit of a drizzle. I'm going to throw a little out to Lynch's. They make this Sysco smoky barbecue sauce. It's a fantastic little drizzle to put on your hamburger, especially if you've got the fake bacon there on the plate. Hero shot out like this, like that. And there we have it. You're going to serve up a burger that looks just like your regular cheese and bacon burger. It's going to be far more interesting than a cheese and bacon burger because it's going to have all beef, bacon, salami in the ingredient list when the server is telling the table about it. And when it comes out, it looks like this. It tastes amazing. I put a little bit of cayenne in that mixture to make the bacon pop a little bit, and it's really going to bring that burger to life. So here you go. You made a burger. You put it on your daily special. It costs less than your regular ones, and you made a little bit more money. So I'll be back in, I don't know, a few minutes, and we're going to talk about portion control and how important that is to you when you're using deli meats in your kitchen. So I'm going to go and smash this burger, and we're on to somebody else.
Awesome. That's a lot of great points there, Richard. I think one of the things that you did mention is sometimes you think about is subbing some ingredients, taking a look at your menu and seeing where you might be able to sub an ingredient for something that's a little less expensive, but still is the dish that you want. So, that was a great example of that. So
it's really easy to make, Amy. Although I did those strips of salami on the meat slicer because, well, we're a deli meat company and there's slicers in every corner. But I actually tested it. Our Carolyn in our office, she said she does this at home with a carrot peeler to create the strips, and she peels the salami chub, and it works out great. And again, at 5 grams per slice, man, I'm telling you, it's a winner salami dinner all day long.
Thank you very much. Oh, Kev's got the giggles now for sure. All right, let's move over to Chef Mark at Ole Mill.
David talked about portion control. We've seen the price of beef and other meat that gone up. Chicken has gone up, but not that much. So what a great way to lower your cost is to use a pre-breaded chicken. So I got some popcorn chicken there. It comes in 2 by 2 kgs. We call them Thunder Crunch. Why? Because they're really crunchy, nice and crispy, and they stay crispy as well. So what's great about it, that a little goes a long way. And as you can see here, I've pre-portioned some. I've got 130 grams here and 15 pieces of it. So I can, with this little portion that's pre-portioned, cooks can do it ahead. It can be, just put back in the freezer or slack out in the fridge. And they're great. You fry them. They take like only a couple of minutes to fry. And this goes a long way. So what I'll be doing here, I'm going to do some Southwest tacos. So I got some pre-grill tacos. So I'm going to make 3. So with this small portion of chicken, I can go a long way with the tacos. Another way to save also on it's to add a lot of garnishes. You can. I got all kinds of garnishes here. I got some lettuce, some cabbage, some Southwest coleslaw. I got some peppers. So what I'll do, I'll start with I got my chicken here. I'm gonna put about, like I said, pre-portion, about 15 pieces in there. I've got, just to spice it up a bit, what I've done here, I used the Sysco barbecue sauce, and I added some ancho chipotle peppers. So I made a puree with the ancho chipotle. So I'm just gonna toss that in there. Coat it so it's nice and spicy. I don't know if you guys see it here. And like I said, add a lot of garnish. Lower your cost with some lettuce and cabbage. We all know the price of cabbage. It's not that high, and it gives you, because what you want to see on your plate, you want to see a big portion of it as well. You don't want your customer to think that you you're rubbing them. So like I said, I got some red cabbage, colors, of course. And what cabbage brings in a taco also is crispiness. Got my coleslaw here. This is going a long way, as you can see. It's already looking good, and it didn't even use the protein yet. So I got, once again, for color, some peppers here. Right. And I got the popcorn chicken. So I'm putting 4 to 5 pieces per taco. Bear with me, it's coming along. There we go. All right. I got a ranch dressing here, a lime ranch dressing. So I'm just gonna add it a little bit. Juiciness. Look at that. Look at all those colors. Oh my God, that looks so great. And why not maybe put a couple of jalapenos? Kicking up a notch a little bit here. So jalapeno. Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
Chef Mark. No, that's okay. I was doing some reading on this topic, and you talk about filling up on some of the garnishes, and just so you're not having to utilize as much protein, just to manage the cost of the dish. And I did read a lot about that, and even the prevalence of using things like pulses and I think when we hear from Chef Marc-Andre from Floating Leaf later, that a lot of those types of products can help in that area as well.
Oh, for sure. I could have added like bean salads to my taco as well here. So there you go. So I got, look at that. I mean, I got 125 grams of 130 grams of popcorn chicken, and look how big the portion is. I mean, the customers are getting that. They think they're getting a lot. Well, they are getting a lot for their money. So a great way to save money. Pre-portion your chicken and add a lot of garnishes to it.
Great ideas. Great ideas.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chef.
All right. Who's thirsty?
Me. Actually not. If I'm thirsty, then there's a problem because my shelves are full of beverages. So, yeah, thanks for having me on the show today. And what I want to focus on is the fact that there are many options and many opportunities outside of center of the plate for operators to control their food costs and to control the food inflation. My tagline recently has been that nobody goes up to a table in a restaurant and says, "Hi, my name's Brenda. Can I start you off with a T-bone?" It doesn't happen. The beverage is the very first opportunity for every single operator to not only make a sale, but to make a profitable sale. And the focus today is on the world premiere launch of our new Fairly Nature's Best brand, which is Fairly. We just went simple, and keeping it simple is so important. All of these beverages are things that are in everybody's restaurants, and how do you manipulate them? So this first segment, we're talking about beverages specifically. Second segment, we're going to morph into the food part of these beverages. The Caesar is the quintessential Canadian beverage. There isn't anybody coast to coast in this country that doesn't know what a Caesar is. So we need to look at the Fairly, I almost said Nature's Best. This is going to be like 15 years of unlearning here. Fairly Caesar mix, which
You'll get there.
I will get there. I have faith in myself. Which is produced in Canada by a Canadian company, which has no MSG, no gluten, and the taste is phenomenal. Your price point on what I would call this food service brand is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a great opportunity to flip things in and out from something that you might potentially be using and actually save some money. So I'm not going to make a Caesar because everybody knows what a Caesar is, but you can see that I made one here and highlighted it with a lobster claw because we were going, we're saving money on the Caesar drink. So we're adding the lobster claw and some fresh clams that I steamed off last night. So my house was very seafoody smelling last night. Not so much this morning.
So one of the things, a lot of times, you have the beverage side of things. One of the things that people or operators can do is they can look to offering value to their guests through promotions. So somebody's an instinct might be, I'm just going to discount, but that's not necessarily the way to go. But if you bundle something with a beverage, so it's, this dish with a Caesar, as in your example, and you bundle it and you bring that value in that bundle, you can actually kind of maintain your food costs there with that bundling aspect. So I think that's something
Absolutely.
that they can an operator can look at doing as well. Don't necessarily think you have to discount, but bundle up.
Exactly. And don't think you need to discount, and make sure that you're charging for what you're actually selling too.
Yeah,
So
for
if you
sure.
are making a Caesar and you stepped beyond the traditional celery stick and lime wedge as your garnish, make sure you're charging. Give it a custom name, give it a restaurant name to it. So, you know, Brenda's Caesar, Brenda's beverage bonanza in a glass. I don't care. Whatever you want to call it, just make it your own. But make sure you're charging for those add-ons that make that beverage more spectacular than the restaurant down the street. Another one of our products that we have just relaunched in the Fairly brand. I love this labeling. It's so clean, it's so vibrant, it's so on trend, very block imaging. Like, we're here, and we have been here for a very long time, and we're going to continue to support our food service industry. But the Fairly cranberry juice, what a phenomenal flavor profile, very cost effective as well as far as the cranberry juice is concerned. This morning, I had the great pleasure of mulling our white cranberry and our red cranberry together with some star anise and some cinnamon and ginger, and oh my goodness, I'm telling you, it just totally counteracted the seafood smells of last night. But what could you do with a mulled cranberry juice? You can have it as a fresh cocktail, or you could have it as a warm cocktail after. So again, you've got that non-center of the plate opportunity to create a sale for your customer or your establishment without really incurring much more of a cost, right? I'm a big believer in the H2No campaign, where, you know, there's no need to sell water because you don't sell water, other than bottles, of course. But when somebody asks for a glass of water, say H2No, and hook them up with one of these mulled cranberry and our Oasis not from concentrate premium orange juice, and top it off with a little bit of a soda water. And you've got an amazing mulled cranberry sparkling beverage to start. Let's just give that a little bit of a doo-doo. Or create a warm cocktail for it. It could be, you know, a mid-afternoon on a cold winter day, or it could be at the end of the meal. Obviously, this is the same mulled cranberry, because you're going to make one pot of the mulled cranberry and either use it as a chilled cocktail, or maybe you're going to warm up a whiskey glass. Not putting whiskey in it, it's just the glass. And we're going to add some of our mulled cranberry. Again, the Fairly cranberry. It's actually a mix in this one of white cranberry, red cranberry, and again, some cinnamon. This is the most phenomenal little spice, star anise. I just absolutely love it. And then throw some ginger and decorate this thing up, because these are all basic ingredients that everybody has in their restaurant. So the opportunity is there to use cost-effective Canadian product. That's very huge for me. And serve it in a multitude of ways. But again, it's always make sure you're charging for what you're selling. Very, very important.
Some great ideas there. Kev?
I again, beverage is underutilized. I love the H2No. Again, we was talked about earlier, but just the use of carbonated water. You know, whether you've got it on the gun, whether you've got a device that can add some bubbles. I mean,
Yes.
it just, you can get more for it, and yet it's not costing you that much
It's not
more,
costing you anything.
if anything, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's important to note
Yeah,
that. So
you
good
can
call.
basically reinvent your cocktails without reinventing your bar, right? And these are all very staple ingredients.
And not only that, like, and again, not to be that person, right, where it's like, you know, sugars do naturally occur in fruit juices, but you can even cut back on the sugar in a cocktail like you just did there, even if it's a natural one, by just adding some carbonated water, right? So even just that can help.
Absolutely. Awesome. Absolutely.
All right. Let's head over to, we'll be back to Brenda later, but we'll Chef David.
All right, guys, good morning. So, like I mentioned at the top, I'm focusing on pasta today because there's always money to be had in pasta. And I'm going to do a little different. Again, I want to create an experience today. I think we've all seen a lot of skip the dishes and delivery, third-party delivery food over the last little while. And I think now going out, you have to provide an experience. You always did, but I think it's essential now. And I'm taking something incredibly simple, and I'm making a quick appetizer with it. So I have some of the Rizzio cheese tortellini here. And I mean, when you think tortellini, you usually think what it is. Tortellini is a warm pasta dish. well, not today. I just fried some off behind us here. So literally took them from frozen and dropped them in a deep fryer. That's simple. And we're making a nice little refined appetizer that's kind of fun here. Let's get our fried tortellini out, and you can see they're crispy, they're golden, like they look just beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Maurizio sun-dried tomato pesto, and we're going to add that right into our crispy pasta here, and we'll give it a little bit of a toss. We might have to add more, we'll see. And quick little toss, just to coat them up a bit. You can see now you have a nice sheen to it. You have some interest in there, just nice pieces of tomato. I'm going to go with a little bit of cracked black pepper as well. And for the kitchen staff, this is no more difficult than tossing wings. This is just that simple. I have some green onions here. Very, very affordable product. Green onions, fresh green onions. I chopped them up, I grilled them first to get that really nice deep flavor. And then I've chopped them up. Let's add a few of those in. We might have to use our tongs here to mix this guy up. Okay. So we'll get some of that color, that nice onion flavor and that green color dispersed through. Okay. And then a little bit of our shredded Parmesan cheese, an Maurizio product. The Maurizio all day for me here today. We're going to add some of that in as well. And find a little toss. And I'm going to plate this two different ways, okay? I have a bowl here with a basket, and we're going to do something fun with that. And then I have a flat plate here, again with a basket. And I want to make our dish a little bit interactive today. So let's take our tortellini, and we're going to add them into the basket there. And you have all that great stuff happening. Like, look at all that. You have all that flavor there. And we're going to put that down. And then we're going to do the same thing over here with our round basket. And we're going to load this up. And what we're going to do here, I have some of the Sysco Imperial roasted garlic aioli. And we're going to go right to the plate here and drop some aioli down on the plate. Okay? And we're going to do that same process right here. Okay? Just have a little bit of fun with it. Doing things like this. This is actually fun for your kitchen team as they're going to get creative. And there we go. We're going to put down our dish of tortellini. Same here. And just off to the side, I've dressed a little salad of microgreens as well as some arugula. And we're going to toss that right onto our plate. And what ends up happening when you put something down like an aioli, it's the glue of the plate. It holds everything together. That means, you know, your little basket isn't going to slide away. Your little salad's not going to slide away the same way. And on this one, we're going to top it up right on top of our pasta. Okay. And what happens here? This is going to allow your customer to actually take this, pick it up, and dump it. And basically, we have a salad, and we're going to go and put some shards of some Parmesan as well. And one more ingredient, guys. I know there's a lot going on here. I have one more for you. I blistered off some beautiful cherry tomatoes here, some heirloom cherry tomatoes, and let's put some of that down on our plate as well. And we have, you know, the sun-dried tomato in our pasta and in that pesto, and now we have blistered tomatoes, which I just used a really hot pan and some olive oil, and I got a good brown on them. And now we're in the bowl here, so let me show you. Let me put it up so where you can see it here. We have that pasta done on a plate, and I'm going to finish it with a little bit of olive oil, and then we have this cool little bowl, again with these crispy, really crispy morsels, just cheesy goodness. And here, let's do one of these, a little bit of olive oil, and the same over here, cracked pepper, and some cracked pepper. And that is an incredibly easy and interactive way of serving pasta in a way you wouldn't. And it's extremely cost effective, and it does provide an experience. And I think that's really what's important right now, is have everyone, as we get back to restaurants, we go out, we go, wow, that was really cool. And I think that if you're doing something that somebody can do just as well, if not better, themselves at home. You're doing yourself an injustice in your restaurant. So you need to create that experience where they just go, oh my goodness, I have to tell my friends about this. So that's my first dish. Check back in with me, guys. I have another one, maybe even two third time for you. But I hope you enjoy that.
So, you know what? That looked really fancy, but very simple ingredients. The one thing I wanted to just touch on, you know, I mean, obviously doing something different with the tortellini. With my kids, I boil it and I serve it, and it doesn't look that great like your dish there. But you frying it, I just wanted to touch on oil as a frying oil. Obviously that's a big issue for a lot of, or the cost of oil for operators is very high right now. Give just a quick couple tips to make sure that they're maximizing their oil so that they're getting the most for their money.
Yeah, that's perfect, Amy. That's a great point. And picture this: picture you're doing all kinds of tortellinis, or you're doing chicken wings, or you're doing fries. All that debris within a busy service is going to go in the bottom of your oil. You have to continually be cleaning your oil. You don't want to have that sitting in your oil because it keeps cooking and it just brings down the quality of your oil, and you're throwing it out a lot quicker. The other thing you can use is something we have at Sysco called ZTF. And ZTF is a beautiful product. It lasts longer, and it is absolutely just, it doesn't transfer any of the flavors as well. So you could drop a piece of fish in that fryer, and then you could deep fry some cheesecake, and you're going to not have any of that fishy flavor. So no transfers. It lasts longer. And as long as you continue your cleaning your oil, you're going to be saving money that way. Or if you're not, you're just throwing money in the garbage. So you have to have a schedule to maintain that fryer and that fryer oil.
Some great points. Awesome. All right, let's head over to Floating Leaf. Chef Marc-Andre.
Hey, everyone again. So as I said earlier today, I'm going to be talking about my first dish. It's going to be a mushroom white and wild rice pilaf using one of our new blends from Floating Leaf, our white and wild rice pilaf. So we've actually launched a couple of these. These are brand new, maybe a month and a half. We've got the white and wild version, which I'm going to use today. We also have the brown and wild, or the regular white and wild versions. These are great products with the veggies added in there. So one of the best ways to lower your food cost is to look at what's costing you all the money. So as far as the sides, rice is one of the most cost-effective sides out there. Plus, it's fairly well liked. It's extremely versatile. You can add a bunch of different flavors to it. So this is a little bit what I've tried to do today here is I've tried to basically take this awesome blend with Canadian ingredients and jazz it up a little bit with on-trend ingredients. And what's more on-trend right now than plant-based foods? So what I've done, as I said, is a mushroom product. So I've already started a little bit earlier here, sauteing in my pan 2 garlic cloves and 2 cups of half button mushrooms. So it's been going for a little bit. So next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 cup of our white and wild mix. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of thyme and a bit of salt. So I'm going to do that now to give it that nutty flavor.
I'm excited. I feel like I'm anticipating, like, I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes out of this.
So I'm just going to let this. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So I'm just going to let this go for about a minute, and just give it a little bit of that nutty flavor to brown the rice, and afterwards we're going to add the stock. We're using chicken stock today, but vegetable stock would work awesome, and any kind of low sodium stock as well would work great for this dish, because what you want is this can work in healthcare settings. This can work if you want to keep your sodium down, so low or no sodium broths. If you want to keep it vegan, vegetarian broth, so a veggie broth, or any kind of infusion you want to add to your dish. So you could use a mushroom broth. You can make your own stock and use whatever you want in there to infuse the flavors. So it's been going. So I'm just going to add this now.
I think getting into this time of year too, the whole hardiness of what it is that you're doing, right? And the other chef Mark said it earlier about giving them other ingredients, right, and filling them up. This is a very hearty filling and comes from close to home, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all about comfort food. I mean, it's been my experience that when people are stressed out, they're nervous, they want to get back to basics. They want to get back to the food that comforts them. But plant-based is still a huge trend. So what's more comforting than rice and mushrooms? It's perfect fall and winter menu. It's hearty, it's warming. So that's one of the reasons we chose this dish. It's very on trend, right? So yeah, as far as the actual dish, basically I'm going to let this go for about 15 minutes. Afterwards, I'd add a cup of 1-inch asparagus to the dish, and afterwards 5 more minutes, and it's done. So fairly simple, easy, low portion cost, which is what we want, and this is the end result. I've added a couple of shaved Parmesan on top of this, so you could add a couple of herbs, fresh herbs and spices if you wanted to jazz it up. This works as a side. This works as a main. Very versatile product.
I think that this is kind of speaks to some of the things I was saying earlier about where I'm with Chef Mark from Ole Mill, where you're using products like this to bulk up a dish to kind of manage the overall cost of the dish as well. As we know, proteins have gone up if you're adding a protein on there. So great idea.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly. One of the things that increased the most recently has been animal protein. So again, most of the dish we're going to be doing today can be vegan or vegetarian, and the blends and the rices we have achieve that with very low cost proportion and ease of use, because labor is still an issue.
Great points. Well, thank you very much. Let's cut to a commercial and we'll be back with round 2.
At Lynch Foods, we're passionate about flavor. As a Canadian custom manufacturer, we've been developing high-quality products for our customers for over 80 years. Sauces, dressings, gravy and soup mixes, toppings and syrups for ice cream and milkshakes, all in packaging ranging from individual portions to retail and bulk formats. For food service, healthcare, or as industrial ingredients, our processing expertise, innovation kitchen, and research and development team partner to create and provide solutions. Our excellent customer service, world-class certified food safety standards, and experienced nationwide sales force can support your business locally, be a trusted partner, and inspire endless possibilities.
All right.
Hey,
What are
everybody.
you going to top us? You had salami bacon. What's next?
I had salami bacon. You know what? While everyone else was making up their stuff, I've been snacking on this wonderful salami bacon chips. They're fantastic. Certainly good for you in the morning. Okay, so food cost is hugely affected by waste. And so let's talk a little bit about portion control. If you're using deli meats, it's always the very best if you can buy the whole muscle, slice it up on a slicer or carve it by hand, and portion it off. And a good example of that just looks like this. I took some Montreal smoked meat, I sliced it up and portioned it off. A good little trick is if you're not in the big deli business and Montreal smoked meat resides on your menu, but it's not your everyday, it's just it's there because people absolutely love it. Then you can portion the stuff off ahead of time, put it on a little plate like this, a little bit of saran wrap, and microwave it for service. It's a fantastic little way of having everything already arranged, ready to go, so it's quick in the kitchen and out the door. But if you're not using enough and you're finding that the slicing process is causing a bit of waste for you, or you're actually having to freeze it down because you're not going through an entire muscle before its expiration date, there's a couple of other really great options for you. Number one, Lester's, we make the Montreal smoked meat pouch pack. It's a 20 by 140 grams, so that's 5 ounces right there. That's what it looks like. Comes in a very manageable size box. Yeah. It's only 2.8 kilos if you do the math, which I just did quickly in my head there because at Lester's, we can crunch numbers. And then product substitutions are great. If you're using a brisket and you're trying to cut costs and you still want to deliver wow to your guests, you can still buy Montreal smoked meat, but you can buy it in a bottom round. For example, this particular guy right here is a 6 by 500 gram fresh sliced Montreal smoked meat bottom round. So this is also a good little way of, like, there's 3 sandwiches in here. So it's easy for your mise en place on the line. It's a lot less expensive than a brisket. It's full muscle, no fat, nothing like that. Simply heat it or serve it cold and off you go. So portion controlling or small packs are definitely a really good way to save some money. So when we talk about Montreal smoked meat, the number one way to sell out your lunch special is to make a Reuben. Everybody loves it. It's fantastic. It's sweet, salty, can be a little bit spicy, and of course, it's very meaty. The way to start it off with, I just toasted off some rye bread with some Swiss cheese on it and grill it off on the grill. Make it nice and crispy. Get that nice crunch in there. We definitely want to pile on, one of those packets of Montreal smoked meat. So that's just 5 ounces of meat, and it doesn't take a lot to make it look absolutely fantastic. So I'm using up 1 pouch just to show you for an example of how 1 pouch of Montreal smoked meat can look like a whole massive pile. So you pile on some Montreal smoked meat, sauerkraut. It's fantastic. Gives it that sourness, gives it that presentation that you're looking for. Really kind of fluffs up the sandwich a bit. Traditionally, you would use like a Russian dressing or whatever on your sandwich, or a Thousand Island. But hey, why not throw a little plug out to some friends over at Lynch's? They're crunchy mustard, so it's a sweet and spicy mustard with a little bit of crunch to it. It's a fantastic little substitution. Doesn't cost a ton of money, and off we go to give that something different. As I put some on my fingers, another one of those nice grilled rye bread with the Swiss cheese on it. Look at this. I'm just going to stack this here in a second. So what I did is I trimmed the bread, this is like the ends off of it, so that it's just the cheese portion that's in there. Stack it, pickle it, and I'll tell you right there, that's how you can make one little packet of Montreal smoked meat, 140 grams, look like a stellar sandwich out in the place. Now, if I would have used a longer toothpick right now, I'd be happier. But
it's okay. Your dog's waiting for it.
Oh, did you see Bonnie the Beagle down there?
Yeah.
Your little buddy's like, anytime now.
Yeah, she knows this. She can smell it when it comes. When I was making the salami bacon, she was going crazy for it.
So,
go ahead, Amy.
No, Richard, you brought up some great points about the concept of portioning, and that's not something new for operators. We all portion, but right now is the time to perfect your portions. And the products that you showed is great because it's easy, it's mindless. My question I have for you, those little pouches, can they be put in a pan in a steamer and kept warm within the package?
You know what? Yeah, technically you can, and with anything you can. However, I wouldn't do it. Because you can microwave it in 30 seconds. See, if you portion it, like if you've got these packs warm, you have to use them before, right? Because you can't just leave them on and they don't use again after you've already warmed them up and cooled them back down again. You can't keep doing that. We're gonna kill somebody.
But so definitely, it's mindless for the kitchen staff because they know it's already packaged, it's already set up. And then it's kind of everything else in the dish. It's perfecting it, the portions that way. So, the amount of cheese goes on, the amount of sauerkraut, the amount of the side that's going on the plate with it. I think, I know that sometimes the sides aren't as expensive, but when you are consistently over portioning those, that continues to add up. Kev, what were you going to say?
Well, I just, I don't want to spend a lot of time because we got to get to our next one, but, just that whole point of waste and the importance of tracking and counting waste. I get to some people it's a nuisance. I get that it's difficult in some cases to teach and train your staff to do it. But at least on the independent side, the major players, they do this well and excellent. They track everything. And one of the reasons behind that is you can uncover mistakes, gaps, errors, sometimes theft, whatever it might be. And so, if you're serious about, increasing or steadying profits, especially during these times, take waste seriously, because sometimes it uncovers training gaps, but in other cases it could, like I said, uncover potential theft, or the fact that many of the culinarians have already said it today, ingredients that could be cross-utilized that some people just didn't realize didn't need to go into the garbage.
Yeah, and so to your point, portion packing is great because we recognize this as a 20 by 140 gram. For those of you using POS systems that count items out of inventory as you sell them, this is a great idea. Thaw it out, keep it fresh in the fridge, poke a pin in it, stick it in the microwave. She's good to go. It's a perfect portion every time, balanced, fat, and lean. It's a winner Montreal smoked meat lunch. On to the next guy.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Chef Mark at Ole Mill.
Earlier, saving oil, and because it does cost a lot of money, and we have a tendency to forget about the price of oil. We have a great product here at Ole Mill that we already did the work for you guys. It's a tempura style chicken breast pieces. I mentioned breast. I've cut a piece here. I don't know if you can see it I probably can't see it, but it's a real chicken breast. Great. Once again, you can. There comes in a case of 2 by 2 kgs, and I've done a portion here. Once again, all about portions, and those could be taken out of the freezer. They take about 4 to 5 minutes to cook. When you get an order. So I got 130 some grams in my portion. And what's great about it is that you can make a rice bowl. Marc-Andre talked about rice and the price of rice, and rice bowls are so popular now. So what I'm going to be doing here, it's a sweet and spicy chili, a rice bowl. We all know sweet and spicy chili is it's really trendy. Everybody likes it. It's got that sweetness, got that spiciness. So I got some here on the side in my frying pan. I got some vegetables. I got some onions. Price of onions are low. Some mushrooms, some peppers, and some sweet peas in there. And I already cooked for the purpose of the show. I already cooked my tempura. But like I said, I could have done it to just as the order came in. And I'm just gonna toss it here in my sauce. So I'm gonna turn that off here. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys can see it. A lot of colors. So that's to start. That's my chicken. I got the rice here. And now you can go a long way with rice. So pile it up. Put a lot of rice in it. And I got this nice bowl here. All right. And I'll try to just get 1 portions of a chicken in here.
I think sometimes too, it's picking the right dish to put everything in.
Yeah, you're right.
It's very important, right?
To make it look like, they're getting a lot. And that's what you want. You want your customer not to feel that you cut down on portions. You want your customer to feel that they're getting what they paid for. So just going to add some sesame seeds here on top. Just garnishes again. Garnishes are essential.
And if I can just add to that, whether it be the chefs and Chef Mark, who's presenting right now, or any of our culinary specialists at Sysco across Canada, if you're wondering or you're stuck, and that's okay, what could I use to beef it up? Ask them, challenge them. Trust me, it would not take them long to look at your menu or your inventory to be like, hey, you could use this. This is a low-cost ingredient that pairs great with that. So any question, folks, that is what our resources are here to help you with.
I totally agree with you, Kevin. And, once again, to make your dish look like they're getting more, I got some fried noodles there. And just, add a few noodles on top of it. I mean, you're getting that plate in a restaurant, and there's, like I said, only like 5 ounces of chicken. We've done the work for you. You don't have to, to work with raw chicken and then put pieces of chicken in your fryer and then wait and waste your fryer as well. So, you know, you got a great portion here, great to go on. So this is, you know, and we talked about also about, you know, food inflation, but there's labor inflation that we should not forget about it. I mean, it's going up and up and up and up. So can you afford to do your own tempura chicken when you got one that's great? You know, you can use it out of the freezer into the fryer.
Awesome. Great ideas. Very fast. You know, I think that very applicable to a lot of different dishes as well. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I made a sweet chili, but I could have made, you know, any kind of Asian ones. I've done it also with barbecue sauce. It's pretty good as well. So.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Let's head over to Brenda.
Hey, it's me. So my first disclaimer. Yes, my first disclaimer on this session is that I am not a chef. I will never profess to be a chef, but I really played with some of my juice ingredients in the past couple of days to see what I could create with them. And as Chef just mentioned, not only is food inflation a concern, the cost of labor is a huge concern. And so one of the products I want to take a look at right now is our Fairly Lime and our Fairly Lemon Juice. These are not from concentrated products. So there's only one ingredient in each of these bottles. This is lime juice. This is lemon juice. We know that being in Canada, we don't grow lemons and limes here, right? So sourcing those products are from other parts of the world, which is perfect and great, except different times of the year will produce a different type of fruit, which will produce a different type of cost. And it's really hard for chefs to maintain a controlled food cost on this item. It's used both in the back of house and in the front of house as well. And whether you're making it as part of a cocktail or putting it into something like this absolutely phenomenal chilled seafood salad, almost like a ceviche with some scallops and shrimp and some octopus and calamari in here, which has our not from concentrated lime juice in here. You've totally saved yourself some money. So you're not taking the labor of somebody squeezing the 28 limes that are in this product and not, you know, having to take a roll the dice in your hands, whether it's a good lime crop or a bad lime crop, or whether the limes even showed up. You get a consistent product with a consistent food cost, which is easily tracked, used again, front of house, back of house, and absolute labor savings with this one. So this is what we did with our lime juice last night. And we made, like I said, we worked in the kitchen and made this seafood salad, which I'm just going to garnish up there, whether it's an appetizer or as a soup and a salad combo. But fantastic idea of offering something using key ingredients that you have in front and the back of the house. The Caesar mix is a fun one. What can we do with the Caesar mix? Well, what we did do was we made a seafood jambalaya. So we've got some shrimp, we've got some cod, we've even got a lobster claw in there as well. Maybe not the cheapest of ingredients, but it's very effective for food show plating. So we did that. And then the funky piece of that was I actually took the Caesar mix, added a bit of gelatin to it, and made a Caesar jelly. Ta-da! Jiggles like Jello. I don't know how well that'll show up. But what an awesome thing just to add a little bit of punch to your dish without adding any real cost at all. I mean, gelatin is a very, very low cost ingredient and very, very labor friendly. Basically, you heat the cold with the mix the cold, mix with the hot, let it sit and forget about it for a few hours. And then you have something that you can not only add as a garnish, but you're adding in some critical protein and some good gelatin to that dish, which is, there are health benefits to that as well. So fun little thing I did playing with Caesar mix. Who knew you could make Caesar jellies out of our Fairly Caesar mix? And then what else I did with it? I made it into a fresh gazpacho. So I put these into shooter glasses. So if you wanted to make a chilled gazpacho as like an appetizer dish, or maybe you're offering a soup and salad combo plate, or with a grilled cheese or something like that, you have these ingredients in your house already. You have them in front house again, and they're so cost effective, it's not funny. And what a fresh flavor profile. And just thinking a little bit out of the box or into the glass with a Caesar mix product. And then finally, on the food front, I made jelly using our Fairly cranberry juice as well. So again, another dish or another ingredient that you already have in your bar or in your maybe it's in your kitchen already. And my jelly is
Brenda,
not
if
turning
you,
up.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, just speaking to the inflation piece on this too,
Yeah.
like stability of these ingredients,
Yes.
what, help us understand that a bit.
Okay, so again, that's one of the features of actually our product. So stability of the ingredients right now is a very big challenge in produce in general, and I will not profess to be a produce specialist whatsoever. But supply chain is a challenge, like we know. Our products, we basically order them in and do a production in bulk format. So we're going to order in our lemons, we're going to order in our limes, we secure that inventory, and then we produce it all at once. And this particular product, we actually flash freeze. So the stability of the product is amazing because it's coming in and you just throw it back in your freezer. From an operator standpoint, you order it in a case of 12 and you pull out one bottle at a time. It's a 950 ml bottle, so completely functional and usable front and back house, just threw a little bar pour on it, but you're going to keep it frozen until you're ready to use it. So as far as the sustainability piece, we know that, some weeks we have mangoes, some weeks we don't. Some weeks we have strawberries, some weeks we don't. It's the same thing unfortunately, with the produce of lemon and lime. But the good thing is when we secure the product, we produce it, and you get that same price point, same quality, same flavor profile for the entire time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
On to our next presenter.
Chef David.
Mute.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
You're good. Yep.
Thanks, guys. So I'm back, and I think we're probably a little pinched for time, so I'm gonna burn through this dish, but I think it's an important one because we're using here are some of the same ingredients that we used in that previous dish. Okay, so right away I've got in my pan, I've got some diced onion, and the thing about this is onion from our Imperial line. Got this myself. Okay, that's labor saving. Now, get them in the pan here, but we're going to add them into our pan, and that's what you're looking at on the line. Their mise en place done. And in a second, we're going to add some of the natural bits as our sauce. Barbecue's been popular for smoked chicken to our pan. The thing that's great about it, possible flavors like smoke, and especially when it already comes ready to product. Those go all the way through the day, and they really know why I'm choosing something like that. That chicken there, we're getting some of the tomato. I fried artichokes. Add a few fully cooked bacon, and again, it's not just kind of nice big pieces, fully cooked as well. So already rolling. Artichokes. We'll get those in. And what else do we warm it through a little more? Okay. Juice. Okay. End up tossing the pasta and just as it comes through. We're going to add some of that sour. Achieving here is dish and our first dish are really different ones. One is obviously a main course. Order them in unison. You had that appetizer dish to put up. You wouldn't be just all this taste. You're two different flavor profiles using simple products that are ready to use. Just going to be so easy. They're going to save you money. Pasta into the pan here. As I'm doing that, one thing to again, we've talked about it. This is key. You can't have one bear paw of pasta that was a handful. Okay. We have to portion a little bit of salt. Back to that arugula I mentioned, we never built that into our dish. There is a dish that's called potential to really, but it's quite basic. Okay, and I'll show you how beautiful this can look. Here we go. So again, tomato, smoked chicken, and a bunch of goopy sauce. Like I think behind us, we can have really nice and cream. Look at that. Finish it off. A bit of a bit of ricotta, and we have to everything. We can't give things away. So that beautiful smoked chicken, before I started breaking it into these pieces, I took all the, and when I took the skin, I put it in and I rendered it down to be pieces of chicken, deadly for flavor. There's those elements of bacon there, a little. Okay, we can do a piece, couple pieces around the, okay, and before we'll with a little bit, because again, people aren't going to be doing at home. They're not microgreens. This is just a little bit, and just like that, because you saw how it came together, I think that, nice looking plate, and finishing with a little bit of oil. Not a bad looking pass. Flavors quickly.
That looks fantastic.
And efficiently, and
looks fantastic
at all.
You had me at chicken skin.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You said you had me at chicken skin. That looks so good.
Chicken skin, yeah. More I already have prepared.
Sorry, Chef. The audio is really cutting out, so we're just trying to.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, it's still cutting out, but we'll do it.
Sorry. Okay. I was just talk about mac and cheese, but if I'm out of UK, all I have for today.
Thanks, Chef. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry that's a challenge for you today.
Chef Marc-Andre, it's over to you.
Hey, everyone again. So everybody's hungry. It's around lunchtime on the East Coast. So what I'm going to be talking about now is something that's really hearty and filling. So I'm going to be talking about a 6th grade vegetarian chili. So I took a shortcut today, and I used a vegetarian chili base, the Quick Start Vegetarian Chili by Basic American, to make the chili base. This is the vegetarian chili base, and this is what we want to do. So what we want, obviously, in the chili is something that's hearty and filling. So most people will add protein or some kind of beans to it. However, what we've done here is we've had a 6-grain blend from Floating Leaf to this one. Awesome product. Also, it's green lentils, brown rice, yellow peas, millet, wild rice, and quinoa. And one of the big advantages of these grains, well, they're gluten-free. First things first, for those that care about gluten intolerance, when you make those kinds of dishes. But also, this product will also bulk up a lot. So rice is about 2 for 1. This will bulk up a lot more. So this is also a very cost-effective blend that's also different and full of plant-based protein. So what we want when we're making a chili is to bulk it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add our blend to the chili. I've already cooked the blend prior to this. So I'm just going to mix it in. and see if that's bulked up enough. Yep, that looks good. So, and afterwards, I'm going to dress it. So, what works well in chili is obviously corn. And I've also added tomatillos to make it authentic. So very simple, just diced the tomatillos prior to making this. And just, this is what you get. So very easy, very quick, nice chili. So obviously this is just a start. So I'm just gonna plate the chili here. Give it 2 scoops. So we have a nice plate. There you go. So this is the result. And I put it on a plate of nachos. So now we'll just have to garnish it a little bit. So I've got my garnish here. So some cheese, right? Because it doesn't love good cheese. So if you want to keep this vegan, obviously you can skip the cheese or go with vegan cheese. Some sour cream. We'll dollop here. Avocado, super trendy item. Mexican, authentic. So a little bit of pieces of avocado here. There we go. Green onions. Cilantro. And a couple of wedges of lime. There you go. So serve it on a plate of chips. So very easy, very hearty dish. Again, vegan. One of the things also that's important that I failed to mention about the 6-grain blend is recommend we cook it like pasta. So actually what you do is you just fill your pot with water or any kind of aromatics that you want. So if you want to infuse it with chicken broth or vegetable broth or hot sauce, you put a bit of hot sauce in there and just fill your pot, add your grains, and then you boil it for about 20 minutes. And then when it's ready to your satisfaction, al dente basically, you just strain it like you would with regular pasta, and it's ready to go. So very easy product, very versatile. Again, super low cost per portion, bulks up like crazy. So yeah, that's what it is. This is gonna be my lunch.
Well, some great ideas for kind of bulking up that dish and kind of extending that product to last, for more dishes than originally intended. So great ideas. Kev, I think we've seen a lot of great ideas. Let's head to a commercial and then we'll come back and we'll do a wrap up with all of our presenters here.
Our table is set and we have a seat just for you. At Sysco, we love what we do, and that is delivering success for our customers through industry-leading people, products, and solutions. Our team is the difference between good customer relationships and great ones. Your dedicated sales consultant is here to help you grow your business. They will connect you with the products, solutions, and insights you need to grow your profits, streamline your operations, and market your business. They'll offer you customized consultations with our chefs and industry specialists to answer your questions and inspire you. Our specialists can help with protein, fresh local produce, takeout and delivery solutions, and more. And if you simply need someone to answer a quick question, our Customer Connect team is just a phone call or chat message away. Sysco is at the heart of food and service and connecting the world to share food and care for one another. Join us for a seat at the table. Visit sysco.ca to learn more.
All right, we're back.
Thanks everybody. I see some people are holding their dishes up. We really appreciate your support on this. Just want to remind everybody, teams across the country with Sysco Business Resources to help you through this. If you want to work through anything that they've talked through, I believe all the people on this call can be utilized as resources. So please don't. If anything you saw today, pretty much everything they did is flexible. You can tweak or add ingredients. It's about utilizing existing inventory, cost-effective ingredients. Like David with the pasta and beverages and pulses and rice, and there's just so many different options. Yes. Go ahead, Amy.
No, it's a lot of great ideas. I think really, this is just the inspiration, and to understand that you can overcome food inflation. And we're here to help us in the BR Business Resources team, and all of our valued vendor partners. So hopefully we'll be chatting with you soon. Don't forget, we are back here at 1 p.m. Eastern time for the final round of vendor presentations with some different ideas on combating food inflation. So I'm excited. Thank you very much, everybody. Great job, and we'll all chat with you soon.
And you can find the recordings for Sysco's Virtual Kitchen on our YouTube, Sysco Canada YouTube channel, on the Facebook, on our Sysco Canada Facebook in the video section. So if you missed it, don't worry, it's recorded.